this is a one-shot session of Dark Vigil, a post-apocalyptic Victorian horror tabletop role-playing game. And playing with me today we have...
Hi, I'm Byrne. I'll be playing Hyacinth.
Hi, I'm Sasa, and I'm playing Edwina.
Hey, I'm Jeremy, and I'm going to be playing Burke.
And I'm Ben, and I will be playing Byrne.
In 1839, there was an eclipse. But that eclipse never ended. The world is encased in darkness. And there is something out there that is changing and corrupting people, animals, plants, everything. The only safe places left are towns and villages, kept safe by the great big spirit lanterns that burn spirit oil day and night to hold back whatever it is that's out there. Our players here today are the venturers, those who are brave and desperate or crazy enough to leave the safety of those towns, armed with their wits, their courage, and their own little versions of the spirit lanterns. So this is a horror game, so before we start, I do need to check with everyone. Are there any particular topics or themes that you don't want to explore so that we can make sure that we're all safe?
It's just no gratuitous violence towards animals, as well as no sexual violence towards anyone.
Sure. Anything you want to add?
Just no gratuitous violence, that's all.
Anything?
No, I'm all good.
No? Okay, cool. You are all from the town of Ravenswood. In the last few months, things have been getting a little better in terms of life, the life you've been living there. They finally got coal coming back in from one of these coal mines that have been reopened, so that meant the houses are warmer. They've been able to do a little bit of very basic manufacturing, and there's been a bit of they've even managed, apparently, to get a stockpile of spirit oil. Now, unfortunately, about 5 weeks ago, the shipment of coal that was supposed to come through stopped. It just didn't arrive. So the village thought, okay, it might be late. They waited a little bit. Still never showed. The four of you have been tasked with going out to find what's happened and get the coal moving again is the only way that your town is going to survive in the long term. And so, where we pick up today, the four of you, you've been travelling for nearly a week, on foot through the darkness. Everything around you is dark. All you can see is where the light of your spirit lanterns reaches, no more than 20, 30 feet away from you. You've made your way through forests, across open plains, strange things growing, plants becoming different, occasional nightlife that never quite is visible but you can hear at the edge. Much of the road that you're now on is overgrown, with just enough cleared to allow the passage of, for example, a wagon. But nonetheless, as you look around, it's clear that no wagon has passed here in quite some time. According to the rickety old signposts that you passed a few minutes ago, you should be nearing a Black Vein mining camp. But there's no glow ahead of you of spirit lanterns, or indeed any lanterns. Forest gives way to a large clearing. At the edge of your lantern light, you can see the edges of like a palisade. Clearly, this is the edge of the mining camp, but there's no light inside. This doesn't bode well for the residents.
Indeed. Well, Burke, on you go, chap. Tell us what's inside.
Let's go.
Should you not make it like have a look around or something instead of going head first into it?
Oh yes.
That's probably a good idea.
Be sneaky.
Right.
Quiet, like a forest.
Yes. Right.
In the darkness, your voices are carrying, as things tend to do in the dark.
I'll do it quietly.
Yes, preferably Burke. Thank you.
Heading up towards the edge. Still no sign of light. It doesn't take you long to find the gates. They're ajar. What I need you to do is find your body dice.
Yes.
And you're going to roll that to determine how quiet you are. However, if you wanted to, you can add your corruption dice to it. But if your corruption dice rolls a 1, you're going to become more corrupted.
Alright, that is an 8.
An 8.
4 on the corruption dice.
Nice. Okay, so you are uncorrupted. So it swings open with barely a creak, and the darkness around you muffles your steps, to the point where even those who know where you've headed and can see your little lantern bobbing, they can't hear the steps. You step through though, and your lantern casts out, it's like within this camp. Very faintly at the far end, you can see what looks like the mouth of some sort of cave or a cavern. Off to one side, you can see, again, very faint outlines in the dim light of 3 single-story buildings. And on the other side, you see train tracks, old train tracks that haven't really been in use since before the darkness fell. And what looks like a metal coal hopper. No sign of anyone.
I'm going to turn around to the others and kind of wave the lantern up and down and say, yes, you can come on. Okay.
Outside, in the meantime, so you're looking around to see what you can spot, right? Now, let's get a mind check to see what you can notice.
If I could use my anthropology expertise, just to see if there's been any sign of like how long people have been here.
Okay, yeah, sure. So roll your mind dice, add your +1 for the experience expertise. Would you like to add corruption?
I think for now, we're not going to do that. It's the first roll. So
You leave that to the game.
Yeah. That's 5 + 1,
6. Okay. Looking around at this construction that they've built, the palisades, you can see it's fairly firmly built into the dark. It's solid. In fact, it looks almost pre-darkness solid. This camp, at least, has been in place for probably over a decade, sort of thing. But you can also see where it's been repaired a number of times, including something that looks relatively recent, probably in the last couple of months. What you also notice is strange patterning on the wood of the palisades. It's almost kind of like a smoky growth that's just kind of come up from the bottom.
Firstly, Hyacinth is going to raise the lantern up to, I guess like a little bit higher so Burke can see it, and she's going to just like flick it, I guess like put a hand over the front, wave it a little bit to kind of signal for Burke to come back, and I'll turn to Bernard and Edwina and just say, hey, have a look at this. It doesn't look right. There's like smoke or something coming off.
What looks like smoke, actually now I realise it's more like it's like a staining of smoke. It's not like it's coming up as though it's actually burning right now, but it's like almost the shadow of the smoke. Does it move? Doesn't seem to be moving, no, but it is still odd. It's not, you wouldn't normally expect to see this sort of markings.
So it's sort of marked into the wood.
Yeah.
Can I try to deduce what sort of happenstance, what sort of phenomenon might have created a situation like this?
For sure. So let's make a mind roll. And I know you have an area of expertise that is relevant.
Indeed, deduction, to deduce.
Would you like to add corruption?
I would not.
Hyacinth's just going to lean over and put the lantern closer.
That's an 8 for a 9, including
Nice.
the expertise.
Okay. As you look more closely at this, tell me, when will you have had experience at actively at seeing what kind of active corruption does? When have you been out in the darkness to see the effect that unchecked corruption has on buildings?
Oh, quite regularly. Well, as regularly as is seen to do so. As I'm quite fascinated as to what has brought about this corruption, for humanity cannot survive if we are to simply hide within the light of the spirit lanterns. Nay, we must discover the cause of this ghastly situation so that the future can look brighter once more. I made a life mission. Not to say that I necessarily understand everything about it, obviously, but just that it is an intense object of curiosity.
So, in which case, when you've been out in the darkness, you have seen this sort of patterning from when corruption has been kind of gone unchecked. When people have built things and then left it for some time, the corruption starts to kind of affect the buildings, contaminate it.
Deduce then that the spirit lantern, I presume, would have been used inside the camp by the miners, has been out for how long, based on that?
Based on that, you would probably think that it's been out for anywhere from a month to a year.
They've been gone for some time.
I would love to ask any of my friends, if that's possible. Edwina would love to push at the edge of the darkness and possibly use a ritual.
For this sort of thing, I think you'd probably need to put your lantern down and kind of step aside into the darkness, because your friends aren't really going to want to talk to you when you've got the lantern.
Edwina, look at this. Edwina?
And I will shove my lantern into your hands and just say, mind this. Having a stroll is always just so peaceful, you see. And so I breathe in the air, I clear my mind, and I meander through the streets, and I start having a little conversation to myself. Good day, how are you? Oh, not too bad.
Okay, cool. Let's see how successful this is. What size is your ritual?
It is only a D4.
Okay, no worries. So there's a couple of things we're going to roll here. One is going to be your spirit dice, and you have to add the corruption dice because you're dealing with something corrupted. So that's one roll. And the other roll is just going to be the D4 for your ritual.
Okay, fantastic.
I was just going to look back while when he was doing that and just lean over to put out and just says, you know, I never get used to that. It always feels good. I don't know. Is that weird to you?
She's certainly peculiar, yes.
What's going on?
She's talking to her friends again.
Oh, great.
I rolled a 4 on my question the dark for the ritual. My corruption is 1, however my spirit is 2.
Okay, so that's a total of 3 for the ritual, right, for the success of the ritual, and kind of the 4 for the item thing. Also, you rolled a 1 on your corruption dice, right?
Yes,
that means that your corruption will rise. So beneath the, you can see the inverted Asparo scale. You fill in the first of the little circles. That's 1. When you get another one, you're going to hit the filled in little diamond, and that's when you get to pick a corruption trait. Something that the dark has done to you permanently.
So yes, I would love to know, love to maybe is a bit of a stretch, but why is this camp so abandoned?
It speaks back in a voice that sounds like rocks crashing. And this is really weird to the rest of you, because half this conversation is in Edwina. Edwina's normal voice. And then this response comes back, and it sounds like rocks kind of crashing against each other. Through the sound, because it's hard to pick out, you can make out the words beneath.
Yes.
Hyacinth would like to keep note of this. I because this happens frequently as Edwina does go off into the darkness. So, as part of Hyacinth's, I guess, interest, but also in study of people, with my writing slides, she's got some parchment and she's just like scribbling stuff down while Edwina is speaking both as herself and as George.
What lingers here?
Birds and eaters.
Well, that makes sense. Birds tend to be scavengers. How can we put you to rest?
This time, the response doesn't come back in words so much as it comes back in a picture that you can see in your head. It's almost like you've imagined it, but it's not quite. There's enough of a disconnect, you know it's external. And you see a picture of a kind of a body crumpled under rocks.
If we manage it, I think the probability is in order.
It's going to be the other two. You know, one of these days it's not going to be Edwina that comes back.
That's why you're here, Burke.
Hey, that's why I'm here. I'm going to need more pain on this one.
I don't think any of us are getting paid. Well, if we survive, we'll figure it out. Yeah.
Always do.
Well, anyways, what'd you find over there?
It's empty.
Okay.
No, there's no one there. You can see the cave, the mine entrance. There's a few buildings, and there's the old train tracks. That's about it.
Excuse me,
Oh.
but that is rather incorrect. There are lots of spirits here.
I'm sure there are. That's why I got this.
Yes, and that's why we're never truly alone.
Right.
I was writing down everything. Didn't get the last question. Did you feel something for that?
It appears that George was caught under a rockfall. So I believe, as he probably wants a proper burial.
Right. So we're saying mine collapse. Is that what we're thinking? Is that
It
right?
appears we almost certainly must go inside the cave, yes.
I need everyone to make me a spirit lantern check.
Mm-hmm.
That means you roll your spirit lantern dice, which is a d4, and don't get a 1. 4, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone has managed to keep their lanterns lit during this.
We should maybe look at the birds.
You didn't think that response was more metaphorical?
Well, they seem to think it was important enough to let us know anyway. Well, what I'm saying is, let's not leave much in the way of breadcrumbs.
So there's these three over here. There's the mine, and then there's the tracks over there. Well, don't get used.
So you turn quickly to the side and head to the first building, the one closest to the exit. As you get closer to it, it appears that your first assumption about a house wasn't quite accurate. But as you're closer now, you can see what actually looks almost like a stables. And you can see like the little windows in there where horses would have been able to stick their heads out. No sign of said horses though from outside. So having a quick glance in, you can see it's not a particularly big one. It gives space for probably 2 or so horses. A small door at the far end that is also way open, and you can see spaces where there would have been tack, like the harnesses and various tools, hoof picks and buckets and all of that sort of stuff. But all of that is, you can see where they should be, but not where they're not actually there. It almost looks like it's been cleared out.
Well, I didn't go Ravenswood.
Yeah. Next building?
Yeah, we should close the door up.
Close the door and head to the next building. This one, when you open it, It's a much bigger building. It is a set, and the inside you see basically bunk beds. This looks like it's some sort of dormitory, and you can count 12 beds in this, along with another door at the far end, which is also open. Before, you mentioned the smell of decay. Here, as you open the door, there's that whiff of something rotting.
Does it seem incredibly old? Or?
No, not incredibly old, but you can certainly smell something is rotting.
Could I have a look in those bunk beds? Is there any footlockers, engraving? Edwina's now she's made a friend, and that friend's name is George, and she's going to see if there's anything with George's.
While you guys are busy searching for footlockers and things, you follow your nose and head down the dormitory to the door at the back that's open. And you pass through that door and you find yourself in what's clearly a small kitchen. There's a fireplace with the big, the pot of stew hanging over it, but that stew is definitely what's been rotting.
I have my pocket watch out, because it's auto used to conduct rituals, and I snap it shut. Mystery solved.
What's going over there?
Yesterday's lunch.
Oh, okay, well, yes, it's a bit of a late, so.
Indeed. I was worried we were going to find a body.
That was my thoughts.
No, it's just some stew that's been here since everybody disappeared a month ago or so. What did you find?
So you pick up the beds, look underneath them.
No,
Yes, okay, sure. So yes, there are footlockers. Most of them are empty. Every so often you find one with the occasional kind of bit of random little piece of cloth or a piece of clothing that looks quite raggedy and has clearly been left. A note from someone to their partner or their lover who's not yet been sent out on the mail chains or whatever. But can I get from the two of you a mind check, please? So roll mind. If you would like, you can add your corruption dice. What I'm asking for here is something to see if you can spot anything out of the ordinary, if you've got a area of expertise that might be relevant.
Just use corruption. Ooh, 8.
6.
Nice. Okay. So that's max on both dice. The two of you, as you're going through, maybe it's when you use the program, and you see the bottom of one of these things kind of jerk slightly, like a false bottom on one of them. Just comes through that little bit before it settles again, but now you know there's a false bottom in it.
Oh, he's got to hide something. Pull that out.
Pull that out? Okay. Underneath that is a small, I suppose, it looks at first glance like a pickaxe, but it's a little bit smaller than you would expect a pickaxe to be. And also, surely it should be used in the mine rather than stuffed underneath a false bottom.
It's a good place to keep pickaxe.
Have you picked it up? You fool. I open my pocket watch and sort of see the ticking of the second hand, approach up to it, sort of stand a few moments from it, looking at the watch, looking at the object, and then if the second hand stops, then I know that there is corruption.
I will need a spirit roll from you, including corruption.
Very well.
And you're going to need to roll a pocket watch.
Alright, that is a 5 total on the spirit plus corruption, a 3 on corruption, and a 2 on the pocket watch.
The second hand stops.
It means, you fool, you just picked up a corrupted item. Ah!
Don't let him insult you. I like your bravery.
Oh, thanks.
Certainly tenacity.
What does it do?
What does this tell me about that?
Well, you know this now is kind of corrupted, and with your experience, you can take a bit of a closer look at this thing. It's a pickaxe, it does what pickaxes do, but feel to you, or it doesn't seem to you like it's going to be reliant on your physical strength. Using it would be more perhaps your will for it to hit hard. On a mechanical level, what that means is, instead of rolling your body dice, you're rolling a presence dice to hit with it.
Anybody particularly present? I don't think any of us put anything into presence. Yes. Well, best leave it where it is, I think. I don't wish to speak for anybody else, but I like my brains where they are, in my head.
I'll kick it into a bed.
Okay, kick it back under the bed, go ahead.
I am very disappointed.
Let's get essentially a stealth check. So I'm going. In this case, I don't think it's a mind thing. I think it's a body because you're going to have to try and grab and take it, and you're going to be rolling against everyone else's resolve.
So Hyacinth was also very keen, so like not to take it, but like if she wanted to draw it and then like annotate like all the stuff that I was talking about.
Let me bring it forth so that you can get a better angle at this. And I will say, do you have the crowbar?
Yeah.
And thank you. And I'll look under the bed and I'll just scooch it over. And with a handkerchief, I will hold it in my hand. Yeah.
Can I get from you, since you're using your writing kit, can you please roll that for me so that we can find out whether the sketching of this is going to take all the paper that you brought, or whether the reason for this is because you could potentially have either not brought as much paper as you thought, or maybe it corrupts each picture and you need to keep re-sketching, or something of the sort, whatever works. So just roll and don't get a 1. So what that means is, you tell me, why is it that was the last of your paper that you've got for the sketch? You had the sketch, but why was that the last of your paper?
So when Hyacinth is sketching it, for some reason the ink soaks in a lot more than it should, and rather than it being a sketch with the ink, the page has soaked and it's now negative space of the page, and so she holds it and it drips a little bit, and there is the outline of clean paper, which is where the pickaxe is, but the rest of the paper has now blackened with ink.
Okay, so your writing kit is now basically broken or out of commission at the moment, but you get to add a D2 item for a drawing of a corrupted pickaxe, which might be interesting. And if you colour in the little diamond, it will remind you that it is corrupted.
Isn't that just marvellous, Hyacinth?
I mean, that's certainly one way to put it.
Awfully creepy.
Well, at least that's documented.
Are you still trying to sneak this?
Oh yes, I've held it up, and I'm not about to put it back.
So you left.
I also left.
You left?
Yeah.
Yep, and I just shove it in a bag.
No need to check for them, yeah? Just roll it. Not in your bag. So, in which case, you get to add to your inventory a D6 corrupted pickaxe. As the two of you, well actually you were the first out, right? So you go out of this dormitory building, and your attention is drawn to the far side of the camp, where a small light is kind of bobbing. Can I get from you a mind check to see if you can spot anything? Corruption, if you like. Yeah?
That's a 5 or 3 to corruption.
Okay, so total of 8, yeah. So, you see this little light bobbing.
Oh, sorry, 5 in total.
5 total, okay. 5 total. Yeah, so you see this little light bobbing, but you also hear the sound of rushing wind or something coming from the mouth of the cave.
I'm going to start to approach the light to try to keep as far from the mine entrance as possible.
Okay. So yeah, you start to approach the light.
Keep the crowbar out.
With a crowbar, yeah. as the rest of you start to come out, you see Burke heading off towards this bobbing light. All of you now will be able to hear the sound of the wind or whatever it is in the mouth of the cave. And just as you get kind of in range, I suppose, of this light, your lantern, as it casts that light, your own light out, see what looks almost like a ball of light. It's just kind of bobbing along. It's a brighter, almost more intense light, which is how you can kind of tell it apart, like from the rest of it. But it is bobbing. And as you come to a stop, you see it start to move towards you. And this is going to bring us into initiative. So, the way that initiative works in this game is you roll your spirit dice. And we're just going to go in order. The way combat works, you go, I go, you go, I go, you go, I go, you go, I go. You come out having got your strange negative image drawing of the pickaxe and shoving that in your bag as you emerge. See Burke on the far side, and stop and start backing away. I think you mentioned, but you two, even at this distance, can see that ball of light, whatever it is, arrowing in on him. What do? You can do two things. That can be attacking twice if you like, or it can be to any, whatever you like.
How far away is Burke from us?
So Burke right now is about, say, 40 feet or so.
How far am I able to move?
So you've got a speed, like most things here, based on your body. So your body is a D6. Cool. So you can go 15 feet, basically, at a time. Okay. Your weapons, do you have a weapon of some sort with you?
I got a handy weapon.
Okay, so obviously you can improvise, use the environment around you, that sort of thing. But yeah, what do you want to do?
Well, first of all, Hyacinth is going to be calling out to Burke and just be like, Burke, what you got there?
Dunno, it's shiny. I don't like it.
With rituals, how long do they take? Can I do them in combat?
You can do them in combat. They take a number of actions, basically equal to the dice size. So if you've got 4, half the dice size. So D4 means you need 2 actions, so it'll take you a whole round to do it this turn. If it's a D6, it'll be a round and a half.
A round and a half, okay. Yeah. Cool. I guess in that case, I would use how much my movement can go forward, and I will begin a ritual, which is a D6 ritual, so 3
actions. Yeah. Which ritual are you beginning?
Corrupted facade.
Okay, what does this look like?
So, seeing something coming over towards her, like, she's not quite sure what it is, but she feels as though it's supposed to be mimicking a spirit lantern. So she's going to try to distract it in a sense, or just have the attention away from that. And so, beginning the ritual, I would say that I guess she'll have like a small kitchen knife, and she will cut a hand and begin to, using the blood, start to draw on runes on her face, but it's going to take a while to fully get in.
This little bobbing thing bobs its way towards you, and as it does, your spirit lantern starts to flicker. Can I get a spirit lantern check, please?
That's a 1.
That's a 1. Okay, so the spirit lantern flickers. The light seems to kind of almost pull away in long strings as it pulls out towards this little ball, connects with the ball, and there's also a sound as your lantern goes out and the light just goes flying towards it. Yep, turn off your lantern, and the little ball is suddenly a little bigger.
No.
After seeing this, I will I tuck my lantern away, and because I don't want my lantern impacted by it.
when you say tuck it away, as in you're going to put it in your bag, or is it you're going to leave it somewhere? What do you mean?
Is there a crate that I can set it upon? Or
you've just come out of this building, right? So if you just wanted to shove it around the corner, you could probably do that. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And that's what I'll do. And
the amount of ambient light has dropped because you're now 2 spirit lanterns down. It's all focused on this little this bobbing ball. Yes.
And is there any sort of knowledge roll because in my mind right now I'm just thinking it's a will-o'-the-wisp, it's a spirit. But is that in any way backed?
Sure.
Can I roll for knowledge?
Yeah, for sure. Let's make a mind roll. I would suggest you add corruption to this. I think that would make sense.
Yes, it is a backup.
Do you have any areas of expertise that could be relevant?
Alas, no, because mine are all fiddly things.
Okay, cool. Yes. Let's go.
A 5 and a 1.
Okay. Well, your corruption rises, for starters, and that is going to get you to the first milestone, which means you get to pick a corrupted trait. You make the connection when you look at this thing to what George was talking about before. This is a lantern eater. Its main source of food, its diet, appears to be spirit lanterns and the oil, the light that they give off. It's probably not a threat to you, just to your lanterns.
And I will, if I have time, yell out, "Put them away! Put them away!"
As you're backing away now, and you're kind of out, as you can see all of this, they're at the very edge of your vision, and your lantern light, mouth of the cave, there's like a spiral of movement, many somethings rush out of the cave and up into the air, almost like a tornado.
I will also try to start a ritual.
Okay.
I'm going to attempt to cast Beacon.
Ooh, okay.
Is this the Lantern Eater? Is it a corrupted creature?
Yeah.
Very good. Then I sort of step forward, lantern held aloft, and I can see I'm sort of fiddling with the bottom of it as if I'm trying to turn it up as bright as I can.
What size ritual is that?
D4.
D4. Okay, so cool. Can I get a spirit roll plus your corruption dice?
Yes.
And then also you're going to be risking your spirit lantern, so let's roll the D4 for that as well.
Damn. 3 in total for the spirit roll, 2 on the corruption dice.
Yeah.
And 2 on the lantern.
Well, at least nothing happens to your lantern, but the dial is, when the lantern keepers filled this lantern with oil before you set out, they turn it really tightly, and you just can't get it to turn. And all the things that you were hoping and praying for this to do.
I told them that I was the only one to touch this thing.
As there's a little bob of light, you see it turn, and it kind of seems to bob off to the side. You have no interest in it anymore. It just bobs off to the side. Seems to kind of hesitate, looking, or not looking, but so kind of hesitate. You can almost feel the tension moving between you all. And then it turns and bobs off backwards, away from you. But something, that spiraling tornado of whatever it was outside the cave, most of that's gone, whatever it is up in the air. Then you hear a call, a shriek, that sounds strange. It's a bird shriek, no doubt about it. But there's something else under it. Like there's a strange sound that sounds almost human.
I'm going to chase after the lantern with my I need that!
The lantern eater seems utterly unperturbed by this. Okay, I mean, in an action to do that, what do you want to do with your second action?
I guess maybe wave my crowbar and try to bring it back towards the lantern. Yeah. Try to catch it, I guess.
Can I get from you then a body roll?
Okay.
Would you like to add corruption?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm in darkness.
And you're going to also need to roll the spirit lantern thing. Yeah.
Alright, that's a 4 and a 1 on the spirit lantern.
Okay, so as you swing this spirit lantern, perhaps you misjudge the distance to this thing, and the spirit lantern, it just hits a wall or something, and it's just completely smashed open. That is one very broken spirit lantern. There will be no catching of the lantern eater.
Oh no. I've seen this before. It's not good for me.
Okay, well, while that is happening, rest of you, as this, these birds, they call, you hear almost like a bird song. It's soft and lilting, but that strange, uncanny, almost human tone underneath it sends shivers up and down your spine. Almost the sort of instinctive reaction that we all get to chalk, like fingers on a chalkboard. Can I get from each of you a spirit check, please? Don't get a 1.
Can we add corruption to this?
No, because this is just don't get a 1. Don't care what you get, as long as it's not a 1. 1.
I'm okay, I'm a 7.
8.
8, okay. So, you gain the bleeding condition. So the way conditions work in this game is a little bit different. It doesn't work on a time base, it works on an action base. So for every action you take until you fix your problem, in this case, you are going to take 1 point of damage. If you fix it very quickly, then you're not going to take much. If you keep doing things and letting yourself bleed, that's when things can potentially become problematic. Some bird out there sings, and then Edwina. Yes. You get that moment of, maybe a bare moment of warning before something dive bombs out of the darkness at you. So that was a 6 that I rolled. Is that greater than or equal than your defense?
Then in that case, yes, it would
Okay.
definitely. Yes.
Yeah, so then you don't quite manage to duck in time. This thing just kind of catches you, raking its claws across your head as you take 4 points of damage to your vitality, which is the one at the top.
Hyacinth is currently bleeding from wounds. Because
basically, it's your eardrums and first.
Yeah, so as she's still drawing the wounds on her face, she's leaking out blood from her ears, and she's trying to hold there. She can't quite hear everything that's going on at the moment. Taking advantage of the situation, we'll use some of that blood to continue to finish the rest of the ritual.
Okay.
So using 1 action to complete corrupted facade.
1 and 1 point of damage.
1 point of damage.
Yep. But your ritual completes. So let's roll the dice for that. So the spirit dice plus the corruption dice.
Spirit and corruption. I want to use it all. I don't know how that would work.
The lockpicks.
Yeah, I was going to say
maybe use them as tools for the drawing because they've got fine ends for more detail.
That's the point. Yeah, I'll do that. So we'll do some of this. 1 on corruption.
Okay.
6 for spirit and 6 for the lockets.
So yeah, okay. So you're definitely going to appear corrupted to this thing. You do gain a point of corruption.
Mm-hmm. She wants to go the other way and just make it seem like she's not a threat.
Okay.
Because she's appearing to be like one of them. So I guess her facade, she still looks like her, but around her she's got this very shadowy aura. It almost drips very blackish, black, almost deep crimson blood or oil.
Or like ink.
Exactly, actually. Yeah. And so that completes, and all of the runes flash and begin to fade away into the aura. So actually, she's going to use the bandages.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So let's just roll the bandages. Mm-hmm. So you roll the d6. Yeah. Cool. You have more bandages and your problem is solved. Beautiful. Okay. Cool. So you've been dive bombed by this thing. It screeches as it rises back up into the air, and then it turns for another, run down at you. Okay, so that is a 5 against your defense, so that's going to succeed.
Yes.
So it goes. Cool. So you're going to take another 4 points of damage to your vitality as this thing crashes down on you and rakes its claws across your head. But you do get a fairly decent glance at it. It seems to be, a bird obviously, significantly bigger than a normal bird would be. In fact, it's almost kind of not quite human-sized, but pretty close. But the thing that's really odd about it is its feathers, black feathers, but they look strange, almost like it's been dipped in, hit me.
I'm not the fighting sort, so I'm going to just duck into a building and yell, Burke, get back here!
Okay, well, deprived of its prey as it's run off, this bird turns in towards you. That is a 7. Take 1 point of damage. And that's from somewhere off in the darkness. You hear that same song. That high-pitched, sort of nail-scrapey song that sounds strangely human. Can I get from everyone, please? A spirit check. Do not roll a 1. Oh, I did. 1?
7.
1. Okay. So the two of you, both this time, gain the bleeding condition as your ears burst and whatever this thing does.
So I understand, casting a ritual takes as many actions as the dice it is divided by 2.
Yeah.
Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool, gotcha. In that case, I'm going to... Ouchie! Come on, don't work. And then I'm going to try to cast Beacon once more.
Okay, sure. So spirit dice,
Yes.
corruption dice,
Yes.
and
the lantern.
Yeah, the lantern. Yeah.
Okay. Not a 1 on the corruption dice, so it's a 7 this time.
Okay.
Sorry, that wasn't a roll. And a 3 on the lantern.
Okay.
On Beacon.
The light blazes forth from your lantern, almost blinding as it goes. So this light blazes out, and you hear 2 squawks in the darkness as these 2 creatures, whatever there are out there, flap, 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 lots of squawking, and then silence descends. There's a couple of the heartbeats of tension as you wait. Seem to have vanished off into the darkness for now.
Do I take 2 damage for bleeding?
Yeah.
Cool. And then as they've disappeared, and I'm like, ouch, bad mood. And then I just start berating everyone. No one specifically, but I'm just like, how many times I have to say never put down the lantern for any reason? Burke, where's your lantern?
Just for clarification, are you doing this while still bleeding out your ears? Okay.
I will, while he is berating everyone, I'll nod as I bring my needlework and I'll try to patch him and myself up. Yes, exactly.
So let's roll bandages to help with that. And you'll do it. You're using
needlework to try to stem the flow of
to help with that. Yeah, for sure. So you've got doves in your ear now.
That's a good idea. Needles in the ear, famously good for repairing burst eardrums.
Exactly.
I know you just had your eardrums blown out, but maybe just tone it down just a little bit loud.
Yeah, sound carries you.
Yes,
I said the sound carries.
No, I heard you the first time. Where's your lantern, Burke? Burke, where's your lantern?
The little glowy thing took it.
Can I try to use bandages on Edwina?
Sure.
She takes small squares.
You chased off the birds plus whatever is out there, and the lantern eater has eaten Burke's lantern.
Yeah.
What do we want to do now?
Well, do you reckon these birds ate the ones? Yeah.
I mean, I think they're more opportunistic than anything, because, I mean, if we're talking about a mine collapse and it's something in there, these things are just eating stuff, I guess.
I was really hoping it was them, so we go back to town.
Well, look, as much as I would like to believe that it was indeed them, and mystery solved, that doesn't bring coal to the town. So unfortunately, we still have to go and.
We need to get the coal. So.
Alright. Well, do we want to check out the mine, or do we want to look at this last house?
Well, we're here now. We may as well have a look, have a peek inside.
So you all head into the building, open the door, and the first thing you notice is a desk covered in papers and books and things like that, and a pair of shattered, like normal lanterns on the ground.
Okay, just oil lanterns.
Yeah, oil lanterns.
Oh, look, Burke, it's your favourite thing. Broken lanterns.
I wasn't paying attention.
Well, it's certainly my thing. Hyacinth is going to go over and have a look around just at the papers. See if you can find anything that stands out, anything of note.
Sure.
Particularly for more, like the most recent thing.
Sure. I will, intending to do the same thing, but assist, perhaps, if that's a...
Cool, yeah. So can I get a mind roll? You can get a bonus from the assist. Do you want to add corruption?
I will, and I also have my scholarly expertise, so plus 1.
So +2 total, and then whatever you roll.
4 on the corruption, 10, so 10 total, plus 2 is 12.
Yeah, okay. So, you go through this stuff really quickly, but thoroughly, yeah. This is your bread and butter, right? So the first thing you notice is that you're not the first person to have gone through this. Just looking at the way that it's been set up and laid out, you can tell someone else has gone through all of this. So the other thing, though, that you notice is that, or your attention, rather, is drawn to a relatively thick book. But when you flip through it, it looks almost like a ledger or a diary of reports, daily reports from the camp. And when you flip to the last one, you can see that it mentions a few small injuries that had to be dealt with due to an earthquake.
Is it dated? Like when? How long ago was this?
So it's dated to 6 weeks ago.
Alright, well, it seems like the last entry in this is 6 weeks ago, so we're looking about a month and a half since anyone's been here. However, what I did notice is that a lot of this stuff has already been gone through, so maybe someone else would come here. Do we know of anyone from Ravenwood who was sent before us?
Don't think so.
Well, I feel like the lanterns being smashed should be more of a warning signal. Who's going around smashing lanterns?
Besides me. Yeah.
Indeed. Can I deduce whether the person who went through these did so more recently than the last 2-3 weeks? Like, they come quite some time after the earthquake.
Yeah, so judging by kind of the dust that's been displaced and moved around, they've probably been through here in the last few days.
So either what, looters or someone trying to rescue people? Or maybe they were looking for something.
Is Ravenwood the only town that is supplied coal from this mine?
No. So Blackfane Mine would have provided coal to a number of towns in the area.
Very good.
Well, it's worrying that we're not seeing anybody else then, in that case.
Yes, indeed.
So if they only came here a few days ago, there's a chance that they're still inside.
And we are brought ever closer to our inescapable fate of going down ourselves.
Okay.
We can't have you running off now.
No, I'm sticking with this, don't worry.
Yes, unfortunately, no more Burke out front.
No, we're right in the middle.
I mean, you can still go
I can go front, yeah. I got my shovel, I'll just poke.
Oh.
Make sure nothing.
Feeling a bit sore, I'm going to stick very closely to Burke and say, you come here, let's stick together.
Yeah.
So, before you make your way out of the last building and in through the mouth of the cave, you pass through and start to follow the mining cart tracks down. Dust hangs thickly in the air, as you pick your way through tight, weaving passages littered with loose rocks. Flashes of light from the 3 working lanterns against the ground reveal more shattered glass and metal lamps clearly fallen off the hooks that they once had.
Yeah, it's not my fault, it's an epidemic around here.
About 45 minutes later, you round a corner and you find yourself in the entrance of a large cavern, significantly bigger than any of the smaller ones that you've come through before. In the middle of this mined-out cavern, you can see 2 spirit lanterns burning quite brightly, while 2 figures are in the process of eating something next to a little fire pit that they've started. A long rope is around their little campsite in a haphazard circle, and multiple kind of exits lead off in other directions, including one that the mining cart tracks keep going down.
Eating something as in having a meal, or eating something as in...
Eating something isn't having a meal.
In that case, cheerio, chaps. Good day.
Oh, alright.
They startle, and the two figures turn, and then you can see, just as they move, you see a third person on the far side of the fire pit that you haven't seen, and all 3 of them go for weapons. Like, they don't draw them, but you can see their hands resting on weapons tensely. As one of them, a woman, shouts back, "Who goes there?"
Oh, my name is Edwina. Nice to meet you.
You can see that there's that kind of moment of pause. She's not quite sure what to say in response. Come into the light. Hands off any weapons.
We're coming at you with lanterns. Do not be spooked unless you're very corrupt, and then please be very, very spooked.
So, as you come closer, the woman kind of, looks over all of you and then says, and what might you be doing here, then, Edwina?
We're looking for the miners.
You're a bit late.
We figured what happened to them. Specifically, we're looking for a little bit of coal.
That's what we're all doing here, is it not? Are you, she looks at you, are you all, venturers, experienced at dealing with things in the dark?
Oh yeah, super experienced.
Right, well, and as she moves, you can see that she's kind of got a bandaged arm. One of her friends is kind of limping, clearly quite seriously injured. She said, well, if you're looking for the miners and the coal, you're going to need to keep going down there. And she points in the direction of where the train tracks, the mining cart tracks have gone. So everyone's down there as far as we can tell. Well, we came back here to, recover, as you can see.
It's what didn't come to down there.
We think it's the miners. Hard to tell, though, to be honest.
Why is that?
Well, it's not exactly human anymore, is it? Didn't get a good look, but it had plenty of arms.
It or them?
Yeah.
I didn't exactly have a conversation with it, so I'm not quite sure.
Well, I mean, individual or many?
Yeah.
Well, one thing that we saw, but how many more there are, I don't know, and whether it's one person or many people in one.
How many of you were there?
There were 5 of us.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Seems like there would have been a lot more of his.
Which town did you come from?
Harris Gate.
Oh, really?
If you survive, or not, you do have a friend.
Edwina, you said? Yes, I'm a sold. Lovely to meet you, although I could have wished for better circumstances.
Indeed. Venturers yourselves, are you?
Yes, we came out to see if we could sort out the coal problem, which I presume is the same thing that you mentioned you were here for.
Indeed.
Can Hyacinth, using her anthropology, just study body language, facial expressions, and everything, how forthright is this old?
Sure. Let's make a mind check. Add your expertise. Would you like corruption to help?
Oh, sure. I'll do it. Why not? So it's a 3 on corruption and a 5, so 8, 9, 10.
She's being honest, but she may not be saying everything.
Hyacinth is going to speak up and just say, look, I know that all of us want to figure out what's happening because we all need this call, but if you've already been down there and whereabouts going, I think it might be best to tell us anything and everything that we need to know just in case. Because if we go down there and we don't come back out, then what else do you got for getting home?
Better yet, would it not be best for all of us to go down? Both our towns need the coal. Without it, nobody survives. And so having the greatest chance of succeeding here is in everybody's interest.
I don't really think that they're in the right state to be able to come with us.
I wish we could, but as you can see, and she gestures to the others, we took, quite the beating.
Do you have any items in your packs that may assist us?
She said, what sort of things are you looking for? What would be helpful?
Weapons.
Oh, you would have the better understanding.
Yeah, what do these things do? Does it like try to grab people? Does it like try to eat them?
It seemed to be able to throw things from a distance, things it wasn't touching. And one of the others says, it might be able to talk, I don't know. It made sounds that sounded a bit like it, but nothing intelligible. So the woman. So, you were talking about weapons. Atticus, I think he still had some Molotovs. And he goes digging through his bag and can pull out a bag of Molotov cocktails.
Those be useful, yeah. What happened to the 5 of you that went down and didn't come back?
One of them didn't come back, but one of us, he's gone off to try and find some reinforcements somewhere.
What? Back outside?
Yeah.
Yeah, ain't coming back.
I don't know.
We didn't see anyone coming in.
No, but...
Did you have horses?
No.
Well, never did we find any evidence that someone didn't make it, so it's a possibility that the guns are out there.
Well, we're going to have to hope, but who knows how long it will take.
Right, so you said this thing swore things, but without touching it.
Ooh, maybe telekinesis.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm not concerned about throwing a Molotov cocktail that it can catch and throw it back at us.
Only if it's agile.
That's true. Is it like just a big ball of arms?
So yeah, mostly just lots of arms. There was a body of some sort, but we didn't get a very good look at it.
Yeah,
we spent rather more time running.
How far down was it?
When we last saw it, it was maybe about it was a 10-minute run.
10-minute one, so what, 15, 20 minutes down?
Yeah. You didn't make a map of the mine shafts or anything?
No. As I said, there was lots of running and not much paying attention to exactly. It won't be hard to find, I wouldn't think. We found it just by following the cart tracks down.
Okay, so at least down the cart tracks?
Yeah. Yeah.
Go shake the trees, see if we can get it to crawl out, and then you throw fire at it.
Fire usually works, yeah.
Usually.
I was thinking more, I'll be bait, and the 3 of you throw the fire at it.
I think I might be able to, hopefully, if I can have the time, I might be able to blend in and I can go from afar.
That works too.
I will say though, how are you looking? You're looking a bit worse for wear.
You see that she looks paler than usual.
Yes.
All this walking, she doesn't have the best constitution. Do we have a moment?
I think we do.
I think we do.
Oh, we're here and they're making dinner for us.
She raises an eyebrow at that, but right.
Well, some of us are injured.
I can see that. Hopefully it won't make things worse. Please come and sit down then, and she'll let you come through and sit down. So who is taking the Molotov cocktails, just so that we know?
So you want to take half? I'll take the other half.
You can take the majority of them, that's fine.
Okay, so Molotov cocktails, which is D4, and then D2. Yeah. Okay, and yeah, you all settle down and have some food. It's all pretty much trail rations, so it's not particularly good food, but it's edible. The way this works is basically you're going to get back. What's your current vitality? 6 out of
14.
Yeah, okay. Oh dear. Cool. So you're going to get back 3 points of vitality. You're going to get back 1 because we can't do anything less than that. But did you want to use Corrupted Healer? One of you had it. Did you want to use Corrupted Healer? Are you going to trade Corruption for Vitality?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
This is looking rather bleak. So I feel like I need my full senses.
Yep.
So then in this case it is so once per session I can make a corruption check to heal myself.
So don't get a 1. Okay, the corruption increases, but you at least get the vitality back.
I took writing supplies also. I'm happy to share with you.
Split it, because you've got a D4,
yes,
you could do
absolutely.
2 D2s.
Yes, I've got a D6 in
Two
fact.
D6, so
Yes.
a D4 and a D2. Yeah, good.
So while we're having this rest, Hyacinth just wants to note down everything about what they encountered, what happened. Essentially, she just wants to document Isolde and her adventure and like what happened.
Yeah, sure, take notes and experience. Cool, sure. Shall we roll some more writing supplies then?
We will try.
2. Okay, cool. A few hours later, you've recovered a little bit of your strength, had some food, taken some notes, and you're ready to venture off again. So the 4 of you gather up and start heading down the path.
Get my shovel out.
Cool. Those of you with lanterns, I need you to make a lantern check. Do not roll a 1.
Stop saying that.
Your lantern gives out. What did you do that has made in the last couple of hours while you were resting that has made your lantern give out by the time you start?
Oh, it was probably when I cast the beacon before it burned through all the oil inside of it, and
Twice as bright, half as long.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So down to 2 lanterns now. The 4 of you gather up and start to make your way following the path. The air is chillier down here. Chillier the deeper you go. Dust lingers in the air still, and you can hear the faint sounds of falling rocks, pebbles in the distance. Further down, you'd be walking for maybe 5-6 minutes, something like that, when the stench of rotting flesh gets to you. As you you can see where rocks have fallen to the side, like an arm from someone who's just been caught beneath it. As you kind of make your way further down beyond that, you pass an abandoned mining cart just toppled off the tracks and lying flat on its side. And shortly after that, the path opens up into another one of these larger caverns with pick marks all the way along, clearly having been hollowed out by pick. The tracks go out and then suddenly stop over a ravine, and you can see that the end of those tracks have been tilted up as they're ripped open apart by great force. The ravine up ahead, you can see your side of it, you can't see where it stops beyond that.
Just before we go to any further, I would like to do my corrupted facade
Sure.
ritual, just preemptively.
Yeah, cool. So we don't need to worry about actions, but we do have to make the roll.
Yes.
So it's spirit plus the corruption dice.
Corruption?
Yep. And then whichever of your items you
Other
want.
ones, right?
Yeah.
So this time she will use the ink, and she'll make a cut, but then place the pen or quill to the cut to then meld the ink in the blood. So 3 corruption, 1 the writing supplies,
An 8.
and 8.
Yeah,
So
okay.
17.
Cool. You are once again covered with your runes and your inky little darkness that follows you around. It's almost like Morticia's dress.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
family. Taking the lead, I think you said you still were doing, right? So you head out, approach this ledge, and as you do, see the tracks twisted up in the air. the very edge. But hang on, you don't have a lantern. Have you borrowed someone's to do this?
Oh,
or you just go?
because I've given one of the two of them my lantern while I completed my. Yes.
Very well.
Are you coming up then, or are you scouting in the darkness?
I'm going to scout in the darkness.
Oh, good. So you head off into the darkness. You can see.
I'll be right, don't worry.
You can see the edge of this ravine just in the light, but without any light of your own. You get to the edge of it and you peer down into darkness. You can't see anything beyond it. Can I, however, get a mind roll from you? You can add corruption if you like.
Oh, yeah. That is...
You get one for this one?
5 with a 1.
Well,
And corruption.
the corruption, okay, so you get a point of corruption.
Yeah.
Not yet, I think, enough to get... Yep. You hear the sound of pebbles and rocks moving all around you, but you also hear the sounds of movement below in the ravine.
Slowly back away.
Good. As you slowly back away, kind of moving off and after them, you do then smell more decaying flesh.
Hyacinth is going to speak up, but in like more hushed tones and just say, "And sit down there."
Yeah. There's something.
I don't suppose you can see anything.
No, I can't see in the dark.
Okay, just checking.
But if I could, I wouldn't have been able to see anything because it would have known I was coming.
Make a good point.
Yeah.
Not a potential friend.
I don't know.
I don't think not this one. I mean, you're welcome to try, but I wouldn't advise it.
I'll take your advice to heart.
I want to get from you, the only person who's been quiet so far. Can I get a mind check? A mind roll, sorry, please. So, into corruption if you like, or not.
Be absurd.
You're being tempted.
Not at all. 5.
Well, these three are busy discussing all of this. Your attention is caught by a flicker of movement at the edge of the light from the ravine. As something comes up, you see that little bit of movement just on the ground level, and then another one. As something pushes its way up.
Burke,
Yeah.
fire time. What?
And
I turn around and charge.
and as you all turn around, just at the edge of the ravine, this thing emerges over the edge. Multiple arms, multiple legs, almost kind of spider-like. You can almost kind of see multiple faces as well on this thing's body, or at least lots of eyes gleaming out into the darkness at you as this thing kind of just perches on the edge and hisses. We're now going to go into initiative, just to, even if you intend to try and befriend it, just keep things straight.
No, Edwina looks on horrified at this, essentially an abomination.
Yeah, it is actually an abomination. 4, 2, 8, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That makes it easy. So, yeah, you're the first to react. Are you charging?
No, actually, I'm going to cast a ritual.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to cast Fortify.
Okay, cool.
The CDC it. Shake the jacket off. Let's go.
Okay, can I get a spirit check?
Spirit check.
You get a spirit roll, rather. You need to add the corruption dice.
Yep.
And whichever item it is that you're using to channel your fortifying this through, as well as your jacket, of course.
I think crowbar. 4. With a 2 for the crowbar and a 3 on the corruption.
So you get your extra vitality, I think it was.
I don't take damage.
Yeah.
Yes, the ward absorbs an amount of damage equal to the ritual die before ending.
Cool. Okay, so your ritual die was D6 or D3?
D4.
D4. Okay, so 4. Cool. So the first 4 damage is just going to get absorbed.
Yeah.
Cool. And that will take your actions. Cool. So this thing, as I said, crouched on the edge of the ravine, hisses and and snaps, and its teeth chatter. Again, there's this, to all of your ears, it sounds almost like a language, but not quite. It's not a language that any of you can speak, and there's something that sounds wrong, but it's definitely trying to say something. Nonetheless, from the darkness, there's another kind of flash of movement as a small lump of coal comes flying out of the darkness at you busy making yourself a big target. Okay, and I need the dice. Cool. That was a 4. Is that
Defense is 4.
Defense is 4. Okay, so it will hit. But you take 2 points of damage, which is absorbed by your ritual. You smack it out of the way, right? And there's a skitter as the lump of coal kind of goes off and scrapes along the ground.
Is there any, like, I just think in the moment, is there any understanding of the, or any way to understand what is trying to be communicated?
You have to make a check. Let's make a deduction check. Deduction roll, rather. So that will be, this will probably actually be more presence, because it's more of a social thing.
Sure.
Add your +1 for your deduction. And would you like to add
Yeah,
your
it just makes sense as I'm listening to this.
That makes sense to this.
We'll find out.
I don't want you to have to justify it for rational.
6.
Total of 6.
7. Total of 7 with the +1.
It sounds like it is intelligent enough to make sense, but you would need a way to actually understand the words. From your experience, as we've talked about in the darkness, the best way to do that would be to become it.
Not gonna do that. Is that an action to sort of deduce that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Is throwing a Molotov cocktail the second action? Okay, great. What? There you go, Rob.
Okay, cool. Let's get a body roll. Corruption?
No.
Okay, I will warn you, this is a pretty nimble and agile creature. You've already kind of seen it with all its many legs, it can move quite well.
5.
With a 5, unfortunately, that's not quite good enough to hit this thing. It goes a little far, and it just drops over into the canyon. So it lights up the ravine for a brief moment. Unfortunately, no one's now there to look down and see what's down there. Okay. Yeah, well, you've now attracted its attention, and it scuttles across towards you, all those legs going, and there's another shot of some sort of coal or something kind of flying out at you. So, that is a 6.
Yes, what about?
3 points of vitality. And at the same time, it rears back onto a few of its many legs and almost seems to kind of puff itself up as it shrieks and shouts at you. I need all 4 of you to make me a... hang on, that's fine now. Cool. I'm pretty sure, because that is a very... 10 is greater than everyone's results. Okay. All of you are frightened. That gives you the frightened condition, which means you've got to get out of sight, run away or something from this thing until you can recover yourselves. But that brings us to you.
Well, I'm going to use all my actions to run,
So where are you running to try and get outside or whatever?
So, in this massive mined out cavern, are there any supplies or boxes or things that are around? So
Probably not boxes, but you would definitely have lots of larger rocks that you could go and hide behind.
Yeah, then I will go to the nearest rock formation and just cower here.
Okay, so you get out of sight. Can I just get a spirit check? So don't roll a 1. Cool. Okay, you are no longer frightened. You'll be fine for the next round.
Alright.
Okay. Yeah, this thing, again, more things coming flying at you as it tries to... That is a 3.
Defense is 3.
Yes, defense. So, your defense is 3 or...
Is
3. Okay, so it will just hit. 1 point of vitality damage. Okay, yes.
Cool. I'm frightened, so I must use all my actions. So do I roll something to try and overcome it?
Yeah, so that's a spirit check.
Yes.
But where are we running to first? Are we going to hide behind a large boulder? Are we going to hide behind?
Would I
Are we going back up the hallway? What are we doing?
If I have the presence of mind to do so, I will follow the person with the lantern. Yes.
Okay. 3 would on a V8.
On a V8.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if there's a different call, if there is a large rock, I will disappear behind it.
Well, so there will be plenty of large rocks, but you could, if you went back a little bit up the passageway, there would definitely be turn-offs that would get you even further away. So it's up to you. Where do you want to take this?
I just want to be out of sight because previous to this, I had an idea, but I was too scared to enact this idea right in front of the abomination.
Okay, so if you're still thinking about that idea, it's kind of lingering, then maybe you just go behind a rock nearby.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Am I still frightened?
So did you make the spirit check? Spirit.
Oh, I most certainly am. I rolled a 1.
Yes, you are still frightened then. Unless...
I have lucky, but I think that is only corruption, isn't it?
Is it? I think you can gain corruption to reroll. So if you want to do that, take some corruption.
The hour is dark, and I'm going to... It can't get worse than a 1. So, may as well. Presence of mind. Yes, an 8!
Yes. This is the first time I've seen lucky be used on a check, which is like anything but a 1. I mean, it's used on the others, like you're trying to actually hit a DC. But yeah. Okay, so yes, you are no longer frightened. Back to me. As this thing, you hear more rumbling of rocks that starts coming. It sounds like more larger pebbles and things are starting to kind of scatter and roll down the edges of the cavern. As this time, not like a small clump of a lump of coal, but it's almost like a wave of coal comes forth, rushing once again at the person throwing Molotovs, funnily enough. That is a 5, which will hit. And you take 4 points of vitality damage this time as it smashes into you.
Worse.
But it is back to you.
You got this.
Are you just leaving it where?
I have to.
Yeah, just where? Are you going behind a thing?
There was an overturned coal car.
Yeah, there was.
I want to take help behind that.
Okay, yeah, so frantically reverse course and go hide up behind the overturned thing.
Cover.
It's a little way back from the hallway, but you are very safe here.
Yes.
Nice. Spirit.
2.
Cool. You are no longer frightened. The only person left to target. That was a 9. And you can take 2 points of vitality damage.
Okay.
How bad are we looking?
Not great. Still up, and just going to run where the nearest lantern is.
I think I'll just be like, come in, just like,
Okay, so, all of you, it's you.
No longer bright.
No longer? Cool. This thing just looks around. No one's in sight, and it just kind of slowly walks forward, almost searching. But we are... That's you?
yes, so I'm now in front.
Yes.
And my ritual is still up.
Yes.
So, Hyacinth is gonna look to you and just like, has the lantern, pushes it into your chest, and is going to walk from around the rock the other side and see if I can go not close, but behind the creature. And I would like to throw some Molotovs.
Okay, sure. So let's throw some Molotovs. Let's make a body roll.
Do I get any kind of bonus for one not being detected?
Yeah, no, that's fair. Okay, let's give you a +1 more for the fact that it thinks you're one of the dark I want creatures in the dark because of your ritual.
Okay.
I think that's where you get that bonus dot. Yeah.
So body, and then I also need to roll for the Molotov.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool. I will add a correction for this. Sorry. Yeah, so that'll be a 3, 4, and a 2. So
Cool.
6, 9.
Okay. Yep. So. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So you throw the Molotovs, and it hits it hits the back of this creature, and you see the flames just kind of spreading along as the smell of burning flesh gets to you immediately, and it takes as gets like cool. Yeah, as it burns pretty significantly, to be honest. Yeah, so one to move, one to throw. The thing spins around for sure and looks at you and looks around, clearly trying to work out who it was. Okay, sure. See if they can figure that out. It does, unfortunately, figure out. Very good try, but not quite enough. As it. Guess what it's going to try and do at this point? It scuttles up to you. You can't be very far behind it.
No.
And it reaches out. With many hands reaching out to grab you. So it's going to try and grasp you, which it would succeed unless you've got something you can do.
No, I do have a window, but it only increases my defense by 1.
Yeah, that wasn't going to help at all. Okay, so you are now, it's now grasping you. If you want to run away, you can still act, but you are restrained. Yeah. Okay, your turn.
It could be a very, very silly idea, but ideas are all I have. So I sit down, cross-legged, breathe in, and I want to, because it's got human-like faces in there, doesn't it? Yeah. And I had a chat to George, and I'm going to try and find George in this thing.
Let's do that ritual. So it's a D4 or D6?
D6 would be my channeling.
Pick off to the next one, but you can start it as you sit down to meditate and speak to the darkness.
Yes.
In the meantime, this thing that is restraining you, it pulls you in towards it, and it starts to and is it you touch it or it touches you? Your hand starts to almost meld into this creature. Can I get, please, a spirit spirit roll plus your corruption? I'm going to presume at this point.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, try not to be absorbed by this thing.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So you manage to hold it off through sheer strength of will as you feel this thing's mind or minds or whatever it is start to tug at yours. You manage to retain enough sense of self that you are a little bit.
Yeah, Hyacinth is just yelling and is going to also yell out specifically to Edwina to say, "There's no friends here. That is currently being consumed. Please help me."
Okay, cool. So hiding behind your mining cart.
Yeah, I'm gonna find my burger, grab my shovel, and just charge at it like a lance.
Are you trying to charge at it as an attack, or are you trying to try to take it off with you over the edge?
I'm gonna go the second one.
Second one? Okay.
Yeah, just set the shovel and charge for it.
Okay, cool. Let's make a body roll, please.
Yeah.
Would you like to add corruption?
Oh yes. And a D6 for the shovel.
Yep.
That is a 4.
Oof, okay.
The shovel's fine, everyone.
The shovel is fine. You run forward with like a lance, and maybe you weren't expecting this absorption thing to go on. And
What the hell?
And in your shot, you just kind of miss this creature careening past it and being at the edge to turn back. Well, this thing is going to try once more to absorb you. Can I get another one, please? 5 total. Okay. This thing absorbs you further, sucking you deeper into it. Your mind's now touching. You can almost.
How is it like my whole arm?
Yeah, it's your arm's kind of sunk into it, and you can almost kind of feel like, okay, feeling like you can feel another arm, like your arm is growing out of its other side, sort of thing. It's very disconcerting, the way that feels to you. It tries one more time.
Alright.
Well, unfortunately, to the rest of you, you see as her body just gets sucked into this creature. 2 more arms sprout, 2 more legs sprout, and there is another face on one of its shoulders. You are conscious, you are aware, but you have no control over this thing and what you're doing. Right? Okay.
Fire! All the fire!
Yeah. Standing up to look at this thing from behind the rock, is that going to take an action? Can I just stand up and I'm just wow?
Wow! Yeah, you can go both. Yeah.
I don't want any Waluigi noises, but what do I want?
So body,
corruption. Why not? And then with the Molotovs on a D2, I'm looking for evens to keep them. Nope. 7.
Okay.
That's a 1 on corruption. So
you gain a point of corruption, no more purity over here, but you will hit, and you do 1 point based on the Molotov cocktail.
Yep.
Okay. Well, this thing is definitely burning.
Does that mean the Molotovs are spent as well?
Yeah. But you can do something. You still got another action to do something else.
Would Hyacinth have dropped some of her copy?
Yes, that's a good point. All of the Hyacinth stuff would currently be on the ground in front of the thing. If you wanted to go and run up and grab it.
I don't know what I do. How burning is this thing now?
It's quite burning. It doesn't look like it's going to die immediately, but it's certainly quite burning. It's had quite a few Molotovs explode on it now.
Okay. What I'm going to do is try to back away from it.
Yeah.
But kind of like Dr. Malcolm style, like over here, but try to get like further forward
back. Yeah.
Yeah, and then if I make eye contact with Burke, I'm like,
The wandering.
Okay. So yeah, you back away. Let's see how much attention you can draw. Let's make a presence roll. No corruption?
No.
4. Okay. So you back up. It seems torn a little between you and it and like everything else, but it does start to follow you tentatively. You don't get attacked because you're drawing its attention. That's a 6. It's going to hit 3 points of damage. You are still conscious. Okay. Do you want to try and take control of this thing?
I mean, yeah, like, so she recognizes everything that's going on. She has all of her faculties which got control stuff. Yeah, I'm going to try.
Okay, cool. Let's make a spirit roll. Would you like to add corruption?
Tonight?
Yeah. I mean, you are still you.
I rolled a 3. So that's 2 on my corruption and a 1 on spirit.
Although you're not going to take control of it, you will manage to distract it a little.
Okay.
Which means the next time it tries to attack someone, it's going to have a penalty.
Yeah, so I guess like she's going to try to like pull its attention just off to nothing in particular, just like the shadows off on the
It's like there's something there sort of thing, like you try to make it.
Yeah, so it'd be like Hyacinth's arm, just like that way.
Okay, yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah, and this thing's going to try to attack you, and it's going to have that penalty that I mentioned. 5.
That
still hits. Okay. 1 point of vitality damage.
Enough.
That is enough. Okay.
Yeah, I got a 0.
You hit the ground. So I now have an offer for you. You've got 2 things you can do. One is You get one last rallying cry to say whatever it is you want to say. let yourself go off quietly into the good night, and the rest of your companions have a +1 for the rest of this combat. Or you make a deal with the devil. You come back to life on half your spirit.
What does the deal involve?
So,
Can I hear the terms of this deal?
terms of the deal is that if you accept the deal, this thing doesn't want to be alone. It needs more friends. You've got to give it a friend. And the way these deals work is if you don't live up to the deal, you expire, etc. It's essentially you're a revenant, come back, bound to a deal. Now, that friend might be you, might be someone else, whatever, but that's up to you.
And when you say it, does this mean like the vague concept of the corruption, or does it mean this specific monster?
This monster.
Good night!
Okay, do you say anything, a rallying cry or anything? Okay.
I think I can grab the Molotovs.
Yeah, okay, so you're going after the Molotovs?
That's all I'm saying. Yeah.
Yep, okay. So, because it is background to you.
Oh, no, it's not.
No, yours. Okay, sorry.
Yes. Because it is about friendship. Because I'm going to, in my attempt to channel, what I was trying to do is try to contact the caucus that is this being.
Not George anymore?
Well, George has friends. What I will say to this being is that I want to offer it rest and respite.
Okay.
And if not respite, because I talk to spirits. I found you once, I can find you again.
Roll for the ritual. Plus corruption.
Plus my corruption. Oh dear, terribly. Double ones.
Double ones. Corruption rises, which gives you a new ability, but also means your attempt to channel and talk to this thing, you just get cacophony back, like a radio wave when you're between channels, and it's just that static sound. Unfortunately,
I tried. Yes.
You did. Okay, well, this thing is still busy fighting with you. You're down, which means as you start to run out, that's a 3, which is...
Defense 4.
Defense 4, so it misses. 2. You're going to go for the Molotovs?
I'm going to go for your lantern first.
Ooh, okay. Yep, so you can run.
My lantern.
So...
Oh, he's dead.
Well, then I'll go for the Molotovs.
Okay.
So what about that? I'm just going to grab the Molotov and just swing the whole bag into your face.
You race across, grab up
There's
the...
like one of them.
Yeah, it goes... One or just the whole bag, is it?
I'm just doing the whole bag.
Okay.
But I have to light it first, so it's...
Okay, I will offer you an option here. You can either basically, story-wise, sure, we can whack it, but mechanically it could be a single Molotov. Or if you're willing to say, look, I'm just going to chuck the whole damn bag at this thing, then we will, assuming you hit, the damage is going to be significantly bigger.
Oh, I'm going to hit it.
Hit it with the whole lot?
Yeah.
Yep, okay. Is there any
I can assist with this. Can I try to distract the creature again or something?
Yeah, let's give you a try. So before you roll, let's do, it's a spirit roll.
Big card?
Yeah, for sure.
Big money? I have 5.
5, unfortunately not quite enough to distract him, but body roll.
I think it's +1 because you're dead.
Yes. He's dead. Plus your corruption, yes.
Yeah.
With the dead bonus.
Yeah, well, it did bonus.
Oh, alright, that is 7 plus 1 is 8.
8, nice. Okay, so you swing this, you smash into this bag of Molotov cocktails straight into this creature. Where? Oh, the faces.
Just in the torso faces.
Torso faces.
Yeah.
And the whole thing just goes up in flames, burning flames, as the stench of the explosion, the stench of the burning flesh, kind of fills the whole area, but along with that kind of ripple of kind of energy, I suppose, as it all ignites, you also hear more of those rocks starting to fall around you as this thing kind of stumbles back.
Shovel. Keep pushing it.
And with you kind of, between kind of you're pushing, all the things kind of happening, and the Molotov's going off in its blonde face, it just tips back over the edge of the ravine, and you see this little fireball just plummeting down it's peered out after it, the 40 feet down, so it hits the ground. That rumble of echoes through the cavern as more rocks start to skitter and scatter down. Okay, you're out of combat, but it sounds like the roof is coming down. You're down the bottom. Don't think you can escape. You're dead. So the two of you.
Oh, get the body. I'll
Get
grab
the
some.
lantern.
Of course. And Hyacinth, I'm assuming you carry your work with you as memory of your works.
She wrote everything down from the phone.
Yep, beautiful. I'll take your bag and your extra lantern.
Grab the bag and grab the lantern.
Yes.
That will slow your exit down.
Yep.
I'm going to grab the body.
Okay, so you're both slowing down for that. Can I get from the two of you then a body roll? You are free to add corruption.
You only live once.
Well, even that. 5, and I get corrupted.
5 and you get corrupted. Okay.
5 and no corruption.
Move as quickly as you can, but you are slowed by the body and this extra bag that you're now carrying. And as the rubble starts to kind of come down across you, around you, you can't quite escape it. The rocks come down, trapping you now down in a pocket of air.
I do have a pickaxe.
We do.
Very good.
We've got a shovel.
You've got a shovel and a pickaxe as the rocks kind of come down. Okay. One more check from each of you. Again, body, because it's physical activity here. To use your shovel and your pickaxe to see if you can dig your way out before enough of the rocks coming down crush your little safety pocket.
Did you use presents for the pickaxe?
Yes, and you get to use presents for the pickaxe. Not that it makes a difference for you.
Yes. But
Alright, so that's a 1 for the shovel.
I do. I think that's the corruption ones.
No, corruption's fine. Corruption's a 4.
okay.
So it's 5 on to... What's going to...
We are on the same level of 5.
Yeah.
Or do I roll an extra? How does this work? Because my corrupted pickaxe is already corrupted. Do I roll extra corruption or
No,
that's
so the reason that if an item is corrupted, it changes how it functions slightly, but it also is kind of narrative license for the GM to have weird stuff going on.
Okay.
Okay, unfortunately, as the two of you try to dig your way out of this thing, you forgot that actually trying to dig yourself out while the place is collapsing only is going to make it more unstable. And as a result, you're digging, but then rocks keep coming down as first you, and then yourself are crushed beneath the...
It's a good thing I had that fortitude.
Hey, that's a good point. Yeah, but the two of you are kind of crushed beneath these rocks. And that leaves us, as you are the closest person to surviving this, down there, other than trying to take control permanently. You want to be in charge of this creature permanently? Or are you just going to let yourself exist for as long as this thing exists? Existential horror, no one.
You know what, Hyacinth, being an anthropologist, she's just gonna see who else is in here. At least I'm not lonely.
That's the thing, you start interviewing all the other things.
And I'm just George?
We leave this whole thing, but we leave the game as a voice goes, yes, back into the...
I'm fun.
And that will be where we leave it. Bye.